In Station 2, you're going to be learning how to measure mass and volume by creating an IV solution. Some of you may recognize these IV bags in the hospital where they drip kind of a saline solution into patients. So we're going to create an IV solution to put in here, and we're going to practice measuring mass and volume in order to make that. So when you get to Station 2, you're going to read a little bit about saline solutions and IV drip bags, and you're going to be answering question number 1. And then you're going to be calculating how much salt and water is needed to create a 10% saline solution. So you're going to be following the tasks, and as you see right here, here is a formula for figuring out how much salt you need to put into the water to create a 10% saline solution. I'm not going to go into it right now, but if you need extra help with the math, maybe that's something that your teacher can go into. But after you figure out how much salt you need, you're going to continue with the tasks, and it's going to show you how to measure mass. You're going to be using one of these scales, and you need to turn it on. And you're going to be using a weigh boat. And when you put the weigh boat on, you have to push tare to kind of subtract the weight of the weigh boat, because you just want to measure the mass of the salt without the little plastic weigh boat. So I'm going to push tare, and that's going to set it to 0. So now whatever salt I put in, it's only measuring the mass of the salt. And you'll see. So if I put in, if I need to put in 2 grams of salt, then I'll just kind of, okay, it's a little too much, but that's okay. You could try to take a little bit out. But that would be 2.2 grams of salt, if that's what you wanted. So that's how you measure mass, and that's in grams. Then it's going to have you measure volume. You're going to measure out 10 milliliters of water. So you have a graduated cylinder. And if you look at the graduated cylinder, it goes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 up on this side. Some, for example, this one goes backwards, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So you want to make sure you're looking on the right set of numbers. And you're going to pour the water in. And you're going to get eye level. You're going to keep it on the counter, but you're going to get eye level so that you can read it right at what is called the meniscus. And hopefully your teacher can explain that, but that's right where the curve of the surface hits the line. So that's where you're going to be measuring. This looks like it's almost exactly 10 milliliters. So once you have your water measured, and you have your salt measured, you're going to put it into a beaker or a flask. This is a beaker, and you're going to go ahead and combine both of them, and you're going to swirl it until the salt is pretty much dissolved. And you're going to have your IV drip bag, and it's going to be near a sink or a bucket so that it can eventually drain in there. Before you pour it in, you want to make sure that the clamp is pinching the tube, and then you're going to go ahead and pour it in through the top of this IV bag. And once you pour it in, you're going to hold it over either a bucket or a sink, and you're going to open the clip and allow the saline solution to drip out of the bag. So that's Station 2. You're going to practice mass and volume. You're going to go ahead and answer those questions and then move on to Station 3.